Hi, and welcome to GENO'S Picks. I know it's the third week in a row. We're still at home, haven't gotten to the studio, but I don't think you can complain about it because the past 2 weeks, 6-2, up to 19-21 on the year, 48%, and you know we're getting hot because if you're following the podcast, 11-2 last week, 50-36-2 on the year, 58% against the spread, and that is making money from the book. So you can't wait to get to this week's picks, especially because no matter where we are, the best jokes, the best insights, the most fun. So let's get right to it. If I look down, it's because my computer's here, and I got some of the jokes written down, but let's have some fun. My first pick, the Rams are giving 3.5 to the Jets in St. Louis. I talked about that in the podcast this past week. If the Rams had walked away from that game feeling like they got lucky to tie the heavily favored Niners and we knew to take the points and the Rams, well then they wouldn't have been the Rams that they are this year. And that is a team that walked away from that game feeling like they screwed up because they know they could have won that game because they're a new Rams team, a confident Rams team that pushes and motivates each other. Look at how great Steven Jackson has played since Darrell Richardson stepped it up. Did anyone else watch Danny Amendola play amazing football his first game back? Because while he was on the bench, kids like Givens and Gibson were chomping at the bit and playing great to take that job. And that's what makes this Rams team great. And that's why I think they will be a force down the stretch in the postseason hunt. Meanwhile, the other side of the ball, you have the New York Jets, who the only time they stand behind each other is to stab their fellow Jet in the back. Look no further than this week, when an anonymous player, and by anonymous we'll call him Antonio Cromartie, come on please, you know it's him, said Tim Tebow stinks. And you know what? You can't argue with him because he does. Yet despite as bad as he is still a viable option and in the conversation to replace Mark Sanchez, who we've been saying all season is a bust because he doesn't get better. And all he did this week was throw a pick for the 4th time in the red zone against Seattle when they had a chance to go up 14-7. What was the result? No touchdown there, and the offense never got back on track, never scored, 28-7 blowout. It is amazing that they still use him. Why don't the New York Jets take a lesson from the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were smart enough to realize that Ben Roethlisberger's loose rib made it a threat to his aorta? Well, I've got news for you, New York fans. The loose arm of Mark Sanchez is a threat to every New York Jets fan's aorta, because every time he releases it, it gives them a heart attack. Take the lesson, New York. It's over for you. Bring in McElroy. But if you're betting on Sunday, take the Rams and lay the 3.5. Okie dokie. My next pick. The Jacksonville Jaguars are getting 15 points from the Houston Texans in Houston. Look, yes, the Texans are arguably the best team in the NFL. And yes, the Jaguars are arguably the worst team in the NFL's history. See what I did there? But both of them are still NFL teams. And no matter who is playing on any given Sunday, people, it's hard to beat any of them by 16 points, especially ones who know that they will probably need their best players for more than just 17 weeks this season. The Texans know they're going to make the postseason, not trying to jinx you. So they will be resting players late and not pressing as hard. And even when you get blowouts, like we did this past Sunday in the Ravens-Raiders game where the Ravens put up 55 points, the last 3 touchdowns were on a bomb to Torrey Smith, were on a fake field goal, and were on a 105-yard return. You know why? Because the Oakland defense, and we saw it against the Muscle Hamster 2 weeks before, has no heart. In the second half, when real teams, like you will see in the Jaguars this game, even though they're losing, play cover 2 packages and nickel packages, you know what the Oakland Raiders are playing? UPS packages, because they're mailing it in. The Raiders are a joke with no heart, but the Jaguars are not. And meanwhile, the Texans are good. I get it. They only have 1 loss, but how did they win this past Sunday? They beat the Bears on a sloppy field with Cutler out of the game and 4 turnovers in the first half? Really? 2 lost fumbles and 2 picks in the first 30 minutes? Please, people. The last time 4 turnovers cost me that much in 30 minutes, I wasn't at a sports book in Vegas. I was at a bathhouse in Philly. And I'll tell you, unlike those broads, these Jags will not go down so easily. People, take the Jaguars in this one and the 15 points you're getting. 15 points. Wow. See how I go in and out because of the white balance? All right. My next pick, the Packers are giving 3.5 to the Lions in Detroit. Wow, the Packers are coming off a bye, so they're rested and ready to face a divisional foe in the Lions, who all they did last week was show how badly they play in divisional games by getting whacked around by the Minnesota Vikings. Yet you're telling me the Packers only need to win by 3.5? Why is the line so low? I'll tell you why, because this is what they call a trap game. Check the schedule. You know who the Packers play next week? They play the New York Football Giants, and that's what they're focused on, a big revenge win after the Giants beat them last year in January. All right, first of all, this is not a trap game. It's an NFL game. You know what a trap game is? A trap game is when your girlfriend texts you something cute from her hot friend's phone. Yeah. That's a trap game. Second of all, these are the Giants they're playing in November. The November Giants, as we have seen, are not nearly the same team as the January Giants. The November Giants are pretty much like, well, the Detroit Lions are every week of the year. Mediocre, underachieving, and a very sloppy offense. And that's what the Lions have. The Lions offense has underachieved all year. And as for their defense, they have held one quarterback to under 20 points all season. You know who it was? The Jaguars, Blaine Gabbert. How do you think the NFL MVP, Aaron Rodgers, is going to do against that defense? Exactly. It's fitting that the Elmo puppeteer got acquitted of molesting a little boy this week, but I'll tell you, Monday morning, when you read Mr. Rogers had his way with 11 young men, that will be completely true. People, take the Packers in this one and lay the 3.5. Which brings me to my double your money Monday night bet, or as I like to call it, I think I hit the last 3 out of 4, right? So let's keep going, people. The Bears are getting 5 from the Niners in San Fran. Well, it's been an amazing 24 hours in the NFL. It's no surprise that Jay Cutler was ruled inactive for this game after that helmet-to-helmet blow he took Sunday night against the Texans. And it's a slight surprise that they say Alex Smith will probably be playing, although I'm not sure. Kaepernick might be. But it is a huge surprise that a Buffalo Bills fan that was ejected from the game Thursday night was found dead near the stadium. Apparently, they're going to lay this fan to rest right alongside the Bills' playoffs hopes. Hey, relax. They did an investigation, and they found out there was no foul play involved. And you've got to believe the Buffalo investigators, because if it's one thing Buffalo people have learned over the past 2 decades, it's how to sense foul play. It's all they've seen. Okay, I know what you're saying. Why all the Bills jokes? They're not in this game. Well, I kind of have to get them out because that game already happened Thursday. And secondly, what do you want me to talk about? The joke that is this Monday Night Football game? Please. It's going to pit the incredibly mediocre Alex Smith against Jason Campbell, who stays in one city about as long as Jason Bourne. Ironically, Jason Bourne leaves because he's so accurate after he hits someone right in the head. But it's funny because Jason Campbell couldn't find his receivers if you handed him a magnifying glass and the media guide, which is why the only thing lower than Jason Campbell's passer rating will be the TV ratings for this game. Might be a good time to DVR the Dancing with the Stars All-Stars. But I am telling you, people, and I don't care if it's Alex Smith or Colin Kaepernick. Why do I like calling him that so much? Colin Kaepernick, I don't care. I have more faith in either Niners QB than in the QB for the Bears I know will be starting in this one, people. Take the 49ers, lay the 5. I promise I will be back in the studio next week. Go to the podcast for any game I missed, but those are Geno's picks. Let's get back in the black this week.